What's going on, guys? Mike here from Canadian Cards. Going to do another segment, something that I was inspired to do by my good buddy card cutter, Garrett. Going to talk, try and do different segments on NHL legends and what they accomplished over the years. I know a lot of you guys don't follow hockey. Maybe some of you don't know a lot of the history. Hopefully, a lot of you do know. But for those that don't, you can follow along in this series, and I'll try and release one, every few days, week, whatever, just whenever I feel it. I tend to what I'll do is probably do a series of videos. I don't know how you guys do it, but I get in the mood to do a video and I want to do like 3, 4, 5 in a row and do a little research on each player or whatever the video is. I film them all at once, and then I schedule them to go out, and hopefully I'm not jeopardizing anything else that kind of interferes with my YouTube releases, but I generally try and keep them 2 to 3 days apart. So today, as the thumbnail shows, we are going to talk about the legend that is Mr. Terry Sawchuk, voted in 2017 of the NHL's top 100 players. So many accolades to list. I'm going to show off a couple of cards that I recently picked up in a collection buy. My second one, not from the original one that maybe some of you have seen, but we'll turn the camera around, talk a little bit about Mr. Terry Sawchuk, and show off a couple of his cards, and tell a story about tragically how he passed away in 1970. So stick around. Okay, guys, so Mr. Terry Sawchuk. I think what we'll do is start off by, I've got a few of his cards that I wanted to show off. One in particular that, here we go. Not as prepared as I thought, guys, but I'm just going to set that one up here. So his rookie is from 1951, 52 Parkhurst. I do have this raw copy of his second year, 52-53, which definitely has to go to JT because it's in great shape. I mean, it's a little elongated on the border here on this side. You can tell it's off center for sure, but I don't know. I just think even the centering's not great, but corners are definitely fine for a 67-year-old card. And that's his second year card, number 86 from the 52-53 Parkhurst set. Next up, I guess we'll show this Parkhurst. This is from 1954 Parkhurst. This one here is card 33. It's in a PSA 6. Again, these are part of a buy that I made. Here's the back. This one's in great shape. Very nice back, and corners are a little tough, and hence that's why it's getting the 6. And then from the very first year that Topps produced hockey cards, here's your 1954 Terry Sawchuk in a PSA 4, card number 58. Here's the back. You can tell like this corner's a little off, but Terrence Gordon Sawchuk. You can see his stats right there, or his bio. He was born in Winnipeg, Canada, December of 1929. Winnipeg is in Manitoba, for those of you that don't know. Just a little brief history about Mr. Sawchuk. Led a pretty tumultuous life, known to do some womanizing and drinking, and apparently he battled a lot with untreated depression. Back in the day, stuff like that just wasn't as prominent as it is now. Some of Terry's accolades, which are absolutely just numerous. I mean, everyone who plays goalie, even to this day, I'm sure knows the legend of Terry Sawchuk. Just to list a few, and again, I'm reading them off from his Wikipedia page, guys. So, United States Hockey League Rookie of the Year, 48. AHL Rookie of the Year, 49. Rookie of the Year in 1951 in the NHL, which is the Calder Memorial Trophy. Participated in the NHL All-Star Game 9 different times. His first appearance 1950, his last in 1968. He was a first-team All-Star 3 years, 51, 52, and 53, and a second-team All-Star 4 years, spanning from 1954 to 1963. Won the Vezina Trophy for the top goalie 4 times in his career, and won 4 Stanley Cup championships over his career as well. What else? He was his number 1 was retired by the Detroit Red Wings in March 6, 1994. And in, like I said earlier, in January 2017, Sawchuk was part of the first group of players to be named in the 100 greatest NHL players of history. So, I mean, that's a little bit about his playing days. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, his life, wasn't the greatest. I guess he had 7 children, had another child out of wedlock, was threatened many times by his wife about divorcing him. I guess 1969 she finally did that. Terry played for 5 different teams throughout his 20-year career, 21 season, or 22, I guess that would be. Detroit, Boston, Toronto, Los Angeles Kings, and finally with the New York Rangers. And tragically, in 1970, Terry died in a New York hospital. As the story goes, he had a roommate at the time, and that roommate was former NHL player and New York Ranger Ron Stewart. And I guess over a drunken debauchery night, they started arguing about expenses, got into a fight. Ambulance had to be called. Terry had to be taken to the ambulance. They found a few things wrong with him. They asked him what happened, and he said, just stupid drinking, roughhousing, carousing, nothing that Mr. Stewart did anything wrong. Just, booze basically. But on May 31st, 1970, at the age of 40, Terry Sawchuk succumbed to his injuries and passed away. At the time of his death, he was the all-time leading wins leader in the NHL with 447 wins and 103 shutouts. His wins or shutout record has been surpassed by Martin Brodeur. But there you have it, guys. That is the legend that is Mr. Terry Sawchuk, one of the greatest goaltenders to ever suit up in the NHL. So, hope you enjoyed this segment. Anything that I misspoke about, not intentional. Anything that perhaps I missed and you can enlighten me to, that would be great too. You can leave them down in the comments below. Hope you're all doing well. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.